the church, and lies. The lies that the church has said or told about sex. Now, as a disclaimer, we're not putting any one particular pastor or church out there. You know, we're talking about the church as a whole.
Yes.
I've been saved since I was 11 years old. And even before that, I've attended numerous of churches and have heard, for the most part, the same thing.
Right.
There are some truths, but the lies comes in with how the person interprets it and sometimes even what's coming off, the pulpits.
Right. And the actions behind it.
And the actions. There you go.
Right. The actions.
So when we say sex, the church, and lies, what do we mean?
So we all know, what does the church tell us to do?
Close your legs.
Remain
pure.
Wait till
marriage.
And all y'all know, most of us ain't doing it. There are a few.
Right.
That I take my hat off. I salute you, my brother and my sister. But I wasn't that one. Most of us weren't the one. And so in discussion, we talked about moving on, and as you mature and as you grow, and you may not have remained abstinent or pure until marriage, but now you married, right? And there is such a stigma on sex.
Oh yeah.
Like for the most part, what were you told about sex?
Oh, was I told about sex?
Oh, okay.
That's the question.
Oh, okay. Like, was sex good, bad, ugly? I remember growing up, and all I could remember is you don't do it, you don't engage in it, but then
don't have a boyfriend, can't like no boy, don't look at him, make sure your legs closed, make sure you're not wearing nothing too short, because
too tight.
You as the woman are going to turn on the boy, and then that may cause some issues.
Come on.
Oh yeah, we've heard it all.
But then when you get married, this boy is expected.
When you get married, now the boy is your husband, and you still want to keep your legs closed. You still want to wear the stuff up here.
Come on.
You still don't want to look him in the eye like, well, I don't want him to know that I'm feeling it too. Everything that they told you to do to not get no babies because you're a teenager is the same thing that you're implementing now that it's legal and permissible by God and by the land.
But here's my thing. Now in your mind, you thinking, oh, it's a little dirty for me to be thinking
yes,
about this.
Yes.
You married, but you don't know how to tell your husband, I'm interested in sex tonight too.
That you're horny.
See, I can't even say that. I can't even say it, girl. I can't say it. But come on now, that's the realness of it, right?
It's true.
And so you get to the place where this man is your husband. He wants you to engage, and you feeling like, oh, I can't do too much.
Or I can't even be the initiator because then I look like
I'm a
the whore. Yeah.
I look like I'm a hoe.
I'm the whore. Like he gonna think like I've been ran through and all this stuff. Yeah, all these things are being played in your mind. Why? Because from being young, growing up in the church, you don't hear that it's okay in marriage. And these are the things that you should participate in.
Yes, engage in.
And
this is the one that makes me cringe now. Oh, the bed is under fire.
Oh yeah.
What does that even mean?
Right.
After my whole life, you've told me, don't do this, don't do that, don't do that, do everything differently. What does it mean for you to now tell me the bed is under fire?
Right.
Like, what am I supposed to be doing but laying here?
Listen, and nowadays people take that meaning beyond anything the stretch of my imagination. People talk about adding people. That's what it means in the Bible. That's what the Bible says. It means putting stuff in the back end. That's what it means. The Bible says that. That means putting it in your ear, your nose. That means doing,
whatever you want to do. Because guess what?
Urinating and pooping. Listen, people do it. That means, we're going to leave it right there.
I'm done, Stacy. Point of the matter is, for me, as a woman who's been single, as a woman who's been married, there is a lack of education that's happening with women to prepare them for marriage because you're unprepared.
Christian women,
From the biblical standpoint, girls that grew up in church. I can't speak from any other perspective because I grew up in the church. My mama was saved, my grandma was saved, my great grandma was saved. Like, they're saved people.
Yeah.
And like you said, first of all, you couldn't like a boy, so we wouldn't have a conversation about boys.
Right.
You couldn't have a boyfriend.
Yeah.
You felt weird if you liked somebody.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
am I supposed to like him? Now I got a whole husband, and I like him. I'm attracted to him, but I don't think I'm supposed to be having these feelings like this. Like,
but then also they tell you it's better to marry than to burn with lust. So yes, you're burning with lust, but once you can fulfill that burning, when you can't put it out, it's like, okay, how am I supposed to do this?
Right. And so I think we're in a space now where we need to start having real conversations to prepare these young men and young women on how to be in a marriage. What is sex supposed to look like? Not saying you have to go into details, but for you to teach them that it's okay for you to desire your husband.
That's right.
It's okay, as Stacey said, for you to tell your husband you know you're horny. Oh, Lord, that sounds weird. That sounds weird for me because at my age I still don't say that.
Right.
But it's for you to tell your husband that it's okay for you to do things and try different things with your husband.
Right.
But why is it that you still feel like you wrong?
Yeah. Dirty.
I remember
Guilty.
for the first a year of marriage, I remember I used to be do it, and they'd be like, Lord, forgive me for my, and then I had to remember, why am I repenting?
Wow.
Why am I repenting?
Wow.
This is my husband, right? And so, but it's the other things, like, I'm
tight.
I can't, are you thinking about, no, I never think about, come on now. So, we have to have these open dialogues in the church because it's in the church where we're teaching people that it's wrong to do this. It's wrong to think about this. It's wrong to say that. We need to start saying sex is okay
That's
in the bonds of marriage. If that's what we believe. You understand? Because we're talking from sex, church, and lies perspective.
But you see, like someone said in the past, why is children's church so full? Most of them are coming from a single parent. Most of them are coming from single parents.
And guess what?
Because people are doing it.
Church.
Okay, so single parents, absolutely. And we're not putting no single parent down who grew up in a church. Definitely not doing that. We're just trying to make light that people are doing it. Why? Because we're miseducated. Why? Because people. It seems as if it's a shameful thing, and so people do it in secret. You never know who their boyfriends are. They just pop up with a baby. It's like, how is that fair? And then they're judged.
And then we can judge and condemn the girl.
The woman, right?
And the boy out there.
Listen, this multi-layered, okay?
Jesus.
This multi-layered.
That's another video.
This multi-layered with that, okay? But the fact of the matter is that people are engaging. And if the church's desire is for less people to, have sex before marriage, then you have to have that conversation because you're going to real life, real hard conversations.
Not just abstain and pray and the Lord will keep you.
Yeah.
Because most of us prayed and thought we were abstaining, but we were not taught, first of all, how to date.
That's right.
We were not taught how to move on from dating to courting. A lot of us, we end up with children or having sex because we're in these serious relationships that we shouldn't be in.
Too serious.
And then we end up in marriage and we're doing the same things.
Yes.
The same emotions are there. But guess what? Our boys are taught to just explore.
Oh yeah.
Sow your royal oats.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
Right? And yet we try to put a Christian girl in there with a boy that's sowing his oats. Well, like Stacey said, somebody done did it in the ear, done did it on the head, done did it everywhere. Yeah. There's a hole. And
that's
now we're coming in there laying in missionary style.
And why they call it that? Missionary style.
Because it's the saved style.
Thank you.
You can't be doing too much.
Thank you. Because they got one named after Snoop Dogg. They ain't got nothing to do with Jesus.
But missionary.
But the missionary, straight like you in the casket,
girl. And you ain't what? You're not supposed to enjoy it.
Dead.
Because I'm girl. Anyway.
Listen here, we can't even get as deep as we want, baby. It's just too many layers.
Because I'm saved, y'all. I'm saved.
So,
but let me
the point
tell
of the
you,
matter is, we're not condoning for people to have premarital sex.
No.
We want you to abstain. We want you to make sure that you are dating and courting the right individual.
Correct.
So that one day you all can come together as a union and,
be married.
Explode. Right.
But what we will say is, make sure that is a conversation you're having.
Yes.
What does sex look like for you? What do you expect? And are you explain to that girl you're not going to be judging her.
Yes.
Explain to her that when these things happen, you're not over there thinking,
right.
Because that's what she's thinking. If
yes.
she grew up and she's thinking, I don't want him to feel this way.
Yeah.
So we need to have those conversations, whether it's in marital counseling, wherever you are, you and your spouse sitting. If you're already married, have this conversation with your partner so that there's an open dialogue so that you can understand where they are. Because a lot of men will be surprised at what their wife is thinking.
That's right.
So have the conversation.
Yes. And so this will be to be continued. We'll have, like we said, it's multi-layered, so we can pick and choose a whole bunch of different topics when it comes to this. But in the meantime, definitely leave comments. What are some of the sex, church, and lies you have heard, you have experienced yourself? Let us know. And if you have overcome them, how did you overcome it?
Yeah.
We're here to, teach y'all, reach y'all, or however they say it. So
reach and teach.
Reach and teach.
Reach and teach. So again, as we always say, like, comment, share, and subscribe. We are here to read those comments. We are ready, child. I'm ready.
Yes, I want to hear it.
Girl, because I already can hear the story.
Listen, don't say, it was a great video on the net. If y'all gonna leave it short like that, no, we need to hear details.
Please share it, because we all been there. I said I've been there.
Right.
We all have been there.
Yeah.
So again, we look forward to hearing from you, and thank you for joining us on Let's Talk.